Hello, I'm Bennett Thompson, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Mississippi NAACP's 76th Annual State Convention. This year's theme is Fighting Forward, and that's exactly what we must do. Over the last year, we've seen how critical the need is for us to continue to fight for voting rights, better health care, and economic opportunity. We made great progress in electing a new president, but our workload has only increased. The past president and his followers are still doing everything in their power to stop our progress from all angles across this country, from COVID to voting rights. Voting has been and still is our best resource to creating lasting change, so we must continue to protect it. We must expand health care coverage. Health care should be a right, not a privilege, and residents of Mississippi facing illness should never have to worry about how they're going to pay for treatment. We've seen officials deny federal assistance to expand Medicaid. Over 10,000 people have died in Mississippi because of coronavirus. Expanding Medicaid would have helped to not only stabilize our hospitals, but it would have saved thousands of lives. The upcoming reconciliation package will help us in our fight forward. Mainly, it will help in closing the Medicaid coverage gap. The Build Back Better Act will bolster financial security and spur economic growth in Mississippi. It will reduce taxes, extend tax credits, and work toward creating economic opportunity for our state. But with all the great things in this relief package, there's still much work to be done. Our communities have been devastated by the pandemic, which has only highlighted the racial disparities that challenge us. Medgar Evers once said, "Now is the time, not tomorrow. It's today that our best work can be done." So we must continue to fight through adversity and continue to work for lasting change. As a legislator and as your congressman, I will continue to fight with you in mind. And again, I welcome you all to the Mississippi NAACP's 76th Annual Convention. Thanks for having me, and may convention further your commitment to fighting forward on behalf of our communities. Keep the faith.
Good afternoon, fellow members of the Mississippi State Conference of the NAACP. Thank you for allowing me to come to you this afternoon from the Children's Defense Fund Southern Regional Office. I'm happy for this opportunity offered me by Dr. Corey Wiggins to have some greetings as you leave your conference. Lots of things have probably been discussed, and we are in some trying times and some kind of good times. So even though we haven't gotten where we want to be on voting rights, I think that the fight continues. But I would like to say to the members that regardless of what happens and when it happens, the purpose of all of this is to tamp down our voting, and we can't let them do that. Whatever the situations are, I want to encourage the members and all of the people in our communities to go out and vote as if we were doing it for Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer and for Ms. Winston Hudson and for all of the folks who fought problems much deeper than the ones we face for the right to vote and to go out and vote. So whatever they think they are doing, let's prove them wrong. As we go forward also, though, we have things that are happening as a result of the vote that we have already cast. We have opportunities for people in our community to take advantage of expanded child care assistance. We have opportunities for people, if we can connect them to the resources, to get help with their rental assistance. We have the child tax credit that is tax policy for middle and low income families. So let's take what we have and fight forward with that. Do what we need to do on election days coming up. Be cognizant of what's going on around reapportionment and redistricting, not only at the state and congressional level, but in our local communities. And let's live to fight another day. Again, I wish I could be there. I miss being with people so very much. But you all have a good afternoon and the rest of your day. And if there's anything we can do at the Children's Defense Fund to help you get this information out in our communities and whatever we can do. Thanks for being there. Thanks for everything that you do. And let's keep fighting forward.
Greetings. Thank all of you all in the celebration of the 76th Mississippi NAACP Annual Convention. My name is Mayor D Simmons, and I want to join you in discussing our theme, fighting forward, discussing opportunities of the African American community to move forward in the current climate. And when you think about the current state of affairs, you can't help but to think that our democracy is under attack. And when you think about our democracy being under attack, you look at a number of solutions. And one of those solutions is moving to the local level. And when you move to the local level, you're making sure that you hold local leaders accountable and moving forward our agenda and making sure opportunities are expanded to Black and brown communities in cities and towns in Mississippi. When you think about creating those opportunities and programs for communities and people that are often overlooked and forgotten, I just want to give some quick programs that we have done here in the city of Greenville that can serve as a model for local leaders across the state of Mississippi to help our folks. When you think about the area of workforce development and economic development, we've created a reentry program called GREAT, G-R-E-A-T, Greenville Reentry and Training Program, which not only is a public safety program, but a social justice program where returning citizens are coming back in this community and they have access to inaccessible opportunities where we're providing jobs in a complete, comprehensive way. Not only is it a workforce development program, but it's also a social justice program. Also, we have completely banned the box where importance is placed on the skills to do the job versus the ills of one pass. We also are nearing our third small and emerging business conference, thanks to Congressman Benji Thompson, where we're working with our congressman and the U.S. Small Business Administration and a number of partners to provide a one-stop shop for business, not only to learn about financial literacy, but also ways to get state, federal, and local contracts to make sure that they have folks that look like us, but they also share in budgets that help sustain communities of our size. In housing, we have the reserves at Ed Gray that houses low to moderate income families for folks to have affordable, decent housing after the city donated a city park. We want to thank our congressman and the number of partners who were here to make that announcement where all of those housing units are full. In the area of infrastructure investment, we've made over $200 million in areas that have been historically neglected and communities that have historically been overlooked. And so thanks to Congressman Benji Thompson for grants from EDA, Economic Development Administration, U.S. Department of Transportation, and a number of partners that come around the table to look at census tracts to make sure that we're putting money where the money needs to be to improve those communities of color. In the terms of education, we want to thank our congressman for his longstanding college and career fair that serve students throughout the Mississippi Delta, but also innovative programs like our Pathways to Possibilities, our second grade extravaganza, and also something new called GCAN, Greenville College Access Network, which is a coalition to help students in high school apply for college, fill out the ACT, get prepared for the ACT, making sure that we're creating a going to college culture, particularly going to our HBCUs. In the areas of food insecurity, we're making sure that everyone has a seat at the table national partners like Hunger Free America, but also our global companies who are making those necessary investments. Mars Food with $2.5 million, Kroger with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Molino Cares with $1.25 million to make sure that access to healthy foods and nutrition and education is in every home and every schoolhouse here in Greenville and the Mississippi Delta. And when you think about the current climate that we're in and these barriers and walls that continually to go up in our communities across this country, look to us, local leaders, who should be keenly aware and aggressively dismantling those negative policies that create discrimination and unfair treatment to folks in our community, but also implementing new innovative programs that's going to create justice, fairness, and inclusion for all of us. God bless you, and let's fight forward together.
Hello, I am Alicia Netterville, and I serve as the Deputy Director of the ACLU of Mississippi. I hope that you are enjoying the convention as much as I am. This year's theme, Fight Forward, resonates with me in so many ways. It is a principle by which I live my life, and it is definitely the spirit in which I do this work. So it is an honor for me to share with you my thoughts about how we can fight forward together. A random Google search of Black issues in Mississippi paints a very bleak picture, with results like racism is built into the very bones of Mississippi, and Blacks dependent since slavery, and Black Mississippians are dying at a disproportionate rate of COVID-19. But what these Google searches do not reveal is the strength and perseverance of Black Mississippians. They do not reveal the fight that has always and always will run through the blood of Black Mississippians. After all, we did get the fight honestly because our ancestors taught us well. Now, despite all of the odds, Black Mississippians have made tremendous gains through hard work, sacrifice, and most importantly, a no-nonsense approach to our freedom. Historically, these gains have not been without resistance. Indeed, today's misguided beliefs about Black freedom and Black equality are often realized through overt attempts to attack our inherent rights. This is why we must fight against every policy and process aimed at attacking our freedom. For example, we must fight forward against attacks on our voting rights, like voter purging bills disguised as protecting against voter fraud. We must fight forward against secretive redistricting processes aimed at preventing us from fully participating in the political process. We must fight forward against prison slavery that was ushered in through the exception clause of the 13th Amendment. And we must fight forward against every attempt to deprive our children of the right to learn their true history, the true history of this country, and the true history of Mississippi. Now, all of these issues and attacks are sure to emerge during the 2022 legislative session. So please take this call to action as an invitation to join forces with organizations like the NAACP and the ACLU of Mississippi as we fight forward to protect our freedoms. I look forward to seeing you in the fight.
Folks are asking this question, how do I get engaged? How do I contribute in a way to see the change that I want to see in my community? And my response is the same. My response is do what you can where you are with what you have. And I think for those folks who are questioning about how do I engage, or how do I be part of creating a Mississippi that I want my children to fully thrive in, change starts right there where you live. And so one way that you can get involved and get engaged is to join your local NAACP unit. If you don't have an active unit in your community, it creates a space and opportunity for you to re-energize, recharter, redevelop that local NAACP branch to create a space where like-minded people can come together and address those issues that are happening in your local community.
We're truly grateful for all of our volunteers who sacrifice their time and resource to accomplish the mission of the NAACP. Words cannot fully express our gratitude for our presenters, sponsors, and all who made this convention a success. In closing, let me say that God is with us when we fight for justice. Micah 6 and 8 quotes, "He has showed thee, O man, what is good, and what do the Lord require of thee, but to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before our God."